she is.
Dr. Tibbs is going to meet with us and the engineers for dinner the Monday after Thanksgiving. So yeah, everybody's really excited.
That's exciting.
It is. We're very excited about it. So hopefully, I was looking in the offerings that they have.
How are you?
And
How are you doing?
I don't know. Well, I don't even know, but then you can talk to the engineers. I was thinking about the construction technology. That would probably fit right in with that if we could somehow get people to come in and give some seminars, and then they could do a summer
great.
internship or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I hope it works out because it would be
Be cool.
a really great example of how community businesses can work to get what they need.
Yep. I think it's great.
Is there any conflict for our family is adopting a teacher? If it has for Christmas, there's no conflict.
So,
Okay. I just wanted to be sure.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, everybody ready?
The one that just had 12.
I'll take that as a yes.
And,
All right, I'll call to order this November 13th, 2018 meeting of the Powhatan County School Board. Ms. Wilson, if you'll let the minutes reflect that all members of the school board are present this evening, along with our student liaison, Ms. Jordan Winnell, and Dr. Jones. This evening, Ms. Ayers will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and Mr. Cole will lead us in the invocation. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunities that you put before us to serve our fellow students, our fellow man, and our community. We ask that you guide us in tonight's deliberations. We also ask that you help to make us ever aware of the many blessings which we enjoy, especially at this season of Thanksgiving. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, thank you, Ms. Ayers and Mr. Cole. In front of us, we have a draft agenda for the evening. Do any members have changes necessary to the agenda for the evening? Any changes necessary to the agenda? Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of approving the draft agenda, please respond with aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next item on the agenda are approval of our minutes. These are the minutes from October 9th and October 23rd. Any discussion regarding the minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I have a small correction that I'd like to make to page 2 of the 5 p.m. meetings on September 24th. And it's near the bottom of the page where it says that I thank Senator Studevant for his efforts. It says, Mr. Cole stated that he would like the General Assembly, it says to work on. I'm asking if that be changed to be aware of the education bills that are already on the books as they are introducing any new legislation for education. So that I'm asking that those minutes be amended, and I'll give that change to to our school board clerk if the board approves it.
All right, they are the minutes from the date again?
September 24th, 5 p.m. meeting.
23rd.
Page two.
23rd.
October
I'm sorry,
23rd.
October 23rd.
What?
I'm sorry?
Excuse me. September 20th.
October 23rd.
October 24th, 5 p.m. meeting.
23rd.
23rd.
23rd, excuse me.
If the public didn't hear it, could you just read that change again, Mr. Cole, so those in the audience can hear what you
Yes,
want to
sir,
do?
I can do that.
Thank you, sir.
It's got Mr. Cole stated that he would like the General Assembly to work on education bills that are already on the books and not introduce any new legislation. What I'm asking it to be changed to is what I think more closely what I said is that Mr. Cole stated that he would like the General Assembly to be aware of education bills already on the books as they are introducing new legislation for education.
All right. So let's take these separately in case we have any other amendments to the minutes. Do we have,
Okay. I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes from the October 9th meetings, 5
well,
o'clock,
let's,
7?
if we could, let's approve the change that Mr. Cole's
Oh, I'm
recommended.
sorry. Okay.
So you make a motion to,
approve.
right, to accept the
Mr.
change that Mr.
Cole's-
Cole's offered. So we have a
Yes.
motion, and is there a second to Mr. Cole's change?
Second.
Motion and a second. So all in favor of amending the minutes to reflect that change, please respond with aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we've now amended the minutes from October 23rd, the 5 PM meeting. All right, any other changes necessary? All right, with that, is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented this evening?
So moved. And I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
And that's-
So we're making a motion and a second to approve the minutes of October 9th and October 23rd. All in favor, please respond with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Takes us to review of bill and receipts. Any discussion or questions regarding the bills and receipts? All right, no motion necessary for the bills and receipts. Takes us to our first public comment period for the evening. So this is the first of our public comment periods. It is an opportunity for members of the public to address the board. There is a 3-minute time limit per individual, 5 minutes per group, with a 30-minute total time limit. Public comment period is open. We would ask, please, that you identify yourself to the board and that you address your comments to the board as a whole, not to individual board members. Public comment period is open. Once again, public comment period is open. One final call, public comment period is open. All right, seeing no movement, I'll bring public comment period to a close. Dr. Jones, I believe we have some recognitions this evening.
We do. If the board will join me down on the floor, we've got several recognitions of staff and students tonight.
Good evening. We do have several recognitions this evening. We're going to start with our FFA chapters. We had a variety of activities that our students participated since this past spring and several award winners. I'd ask Ms. Bauer if she's here to come down, our sponsor for the middle school. And we'd like to recognize Ms. Bowery and her students who took second place State Plant Science CDE team, scoring only 8 points below first place. And the members were Gage Hoskin, who took 5th place for the high individual, Sadie Marks, and Rebecca Harrell. If they're here to be recognized, please come forward. And the high school was busy in these past few months. I'd ask Mr. Whitlow and Ms. Smith if they're here to come on down and help us with recognitions. So our students have participated in both state and national activities over the course of the past few months. The gold-rated chapter was awarded by the Virginia FFA Association. We were rated as a superior chapter, which is the top 10% of chapters in Virginia. They also received as a chapter the gold-rated chapter for public relations, as well as the Southeastern Area winner for Growing Leaders Division, and again, due in large part to our sponsors, Mr. Whitlow and Ms. Smith. The state FFA degree is the highest award the Virginia State Association can give to an FFA member, and we had 4 recipients this year: Jordan Winall, Olivia Arnold, Elizabeth Akins-Breedmeyer, and Lily Carnahan. Please come forward, ladies. Stay close by, right. There's more awards to come. So this is the highest honor award that the state association can give, the honorary state degree. And this year, 2 teachers in Powhatan received this award, Ms. Caitlin Smith and Mr. Chris Whitlow. Congratulations. The American FFA degree is awarded at the National FFA Convention and Expo each year to less than 1% of FFA members, making it one of the organization's highest honors. Requirements to earn the honor are lengthy. In addition to their degree certificate, each recipient receives a gold American FFA degree key. This is the second year in a row Powhatan has had an American degree recipient, and that member is Dakota Stroud. Lily Carnahan was named a finalist for the Virginia Star Farmer and Southeastern Area Star Farmer Reserve Grand Champion for Market Heifers at the State Fair of Virginia, representing the Powhatan FFA. Our horse evaluation team placed first in the state contest and represent Virginia in the national contest held at the National Convention. Team members include Emily Eanes, third place overall, Lexi Akins-Breedmeyer, fifth place overall, and Jordan Winall, sixth place overall. The Junior Agriculture Mechanics team placed first in the state contest. Team members include Joe Manderbaugh, second place overall, Trey Timberlake, third place overall, Mason Hathaway, sixth place overall, and Will Winall, eighth place overall. Extemporaneous public speaking. Jordan Winall was the state runner-up in the extemporaneous public speaking contest, representing Virginia in the Big E competition held in Springfield, Massachusetts, where she placed fourth. The forestry team placed second in the state as a team. Team members, Colby Lowry, second place individual, Trey Timberlake, third place individual, Jordan Winall, eighth place individual, and Joe Manderbaugh. Congratulations. And that team represented Virginia at the Big E competition and placed fourth. Colby Lowry was the fourth place high individual in the contest. Congratulations, Colby. That was it. Was that enough? Best dressed award as well? The Powhatan Education Foundation is a nonprofit organization dedicated to enhancing the learning experience for students, teachers, and staff of Powhatan County Public Schools by promoting innovative educational opportunities, recognizing outstanding achievements, and developing community partnerships. Each year, the PEF awards innovative classroom grants that present ideas for achieving the county's curricular goals, enhancing students' personal development, and/or encouraging links with the community. Before we announce the grant recipients, please join me in recognizing PEF board members who are here in attendance for their service to the staff and students of Powhatan County Public Schools. Ms. Carolyn White, please stand to be recognized. There you are. Miss Lynn Bradbury. Dr. Lynn Prince. Mr. David Prince. Miss Patty Mulheron. And Mrs. Carol Baltimore. And now we get to give out some money. For a grant titled Creative Writing with Music, Gina Dickerson was the project leader, awarded $1,500, along with Joshua Wright, Thomas Beekman, and Chris Thomas. For the grant School-Based Sensory Path, Ashley Ringstaff, along with Penny George, Kirsten Leitner, and Karen Gobble, were awarded $1,278. That works. For their playground equipment project, Robin Shortridge awarded $1,456. For the project Growing Our Knowledge Outdoor Classroom Improvement Project, Jennifer Bowery and the Powhatan Elementary School teachers in the amount of $1,250. A grant of $1,480 for a little twist on the 5 C's: communication, culture, connections, comparisons, communities through cuisine. Diana Razzo, Betsy Lewis, Melanie Arnold, and Carol Para. Gillian Lambert and Danya Spot awarded $1,111 for Learning by Making grant. For the grant We Are, Designed to Think, Melissa Glandon and the PHS teachers, a grant in the amount of $1,000. For the project A Room to Breathe, Karen Ramey and the PHS guidance counselors in the amount of $500. For the project Providing Spanish Students with Authentic Listening Practice, Nadia Hassan, Ray Shrewsbury, and Christian Miller in the amount of $1,500. A grant for $750 in support of the International Diversity Fair for Nashay Jones, Christian Miller, and the Diverse Hands at Work student leaders. For the project Books and Brushes with Jane Brown, Penny Robertson, and Amy McManus, a grant for $1,067.80. For the project PHS Tutoring Center, Penny Robertson and the PHS Honor Society Chapter Advisors, a grant of $900. And a grant for $500 for the Science Olympiad team, Elliot Gibbs, Brian Schock, and Science Olympiad students. And using my rough estimation skills, that's about $14,000 that they just gave out today. So congratulations to everybody.
We got all the grant winners to come up, please, and take a picture with the Powhatan Education Foundation board. And while we're lining up, can we give one more hand to the Powhatan Education Foundation?
Yes. Our final award of the evening, I'd like to ask Transportation Driver Sheila Payne and Transportation Assistant Jane Perryman to come down so we can read the award. On October 10th, Transportation received a note of praise from a parent for the efforts of driver Sheila Payne and bus assistant Jane Perryman for their efforts during the extreme weather and tornado warnings the afternoon of September 17th, 2018. I'd like to read the letter for you all to hear. I received a note of praise from a parent for the efforts of Sheila Payne and Jane Perryman today and want to share congratulations on a job well done. The parent wrote, Mrs. Sheila Payne and Mrs. Jane were on the bus with my children when the call came out for schools to shelter in place. They evacuated the bus into the daycare where they were dropping the first set of children off. 3 of my 4 children were with them, and I cannot tell you enough how thankful I am for their efforts. You truly never know what an emergency will look like when your children are not with you, but I want you to know how much they went above and beyond the call of duty. My children were safely evacuated. They were appropriately in the hallway when needed, even my son, who is wheelchair dependent. These women got my son, who is 90 pounds by the way, out of his chair and to the floor and kept him safe. They calmed all of my children. These women are angels walking on earth. When it was time to come home, they dropped them off, my children dry, Miss Jane and Miss Sheila soaking wet. They shrugged off their efforts when I thanked them. The parent went on to thank us for hiring people who truly love their children. Sheila Payne and Jane Perryman, thank you for all you do for the children of Powhatan County Public Schools.
All right, Dr. Jones, I believe that takes us to the consent agenda. Sir, would you like to walk the board through the consent agenda?
I'd be happy to, Mr. Chairman. First item is a monthly financial report. The next item is CIP financial report. We will be closing out the middle school project here in the next month or so, hopefully before the holidays, and the bus garage is nearing completion as well. The facilities update is included. Of note, Powhatan Elementary School's new bus canopy and parent drop-off loop became operational today. All reports are that it went very well, was added to the safety of the school, and also I think decreased some congestion on Old Buckingham Road, which is nice for everybody. So congratulations to them for a first day of implementing that new traffic pattern. School board facility use report is included, an overnight field trip for some.
Can I stop you?
I'm
just a
sorry,
moment?
yes.
No, that's okay. So capital improvement projects, just to make sure that I'm clear on this. So have we purchased or have we closed everything we need on these 2 projects, the middle school and the garage?
No, we have not. We still have a couple items on the bus garage that we're working on. The middle school, we want to get further into the cold season to make sure the heating and everything is working well before we close that out. So they aren't closed out at this point, and there are still funds to be expended in the middle school, but the bus garage is probably 99% complete.
All right, so with the middle school, we've expended 97% of the funds. With the new garage, we're at 96.93.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And we're on track to have funds left over in both projects. It's just a matter of how much at this point.
All right, sir.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much.
Sure. Next item was school board facility use report, which talks about how our facilities are being used by outside agencies. We have an overnight field trip for the high school to go to Fisherville to the Workforce Rehabilitation Center for some skills assessments at the end of November. The personnel docket and addendum that the board discussed in closed session. So we're asking it for approval of the consent agenda at this time.
All right, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as a block?
Yes, sir. I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda in total.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor of approving the consent agenda as a block, please respond with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Dr. Jones.
Thank you. Next item is consider approval of school board advisory committee members. The new committee members that we're asking for approval are highlighted in yellow, and there are some on all of them, and you can see that the Title I Parent Advisory Committee is filling out as well. So we're asking for approval of these additional community members who are volunteering their time to help on the different advisory committees the school board has.
All right, unless there's discussion, is there a motion to approve these volunteers to serve on the various school board advisory committees?
So moved.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please respond with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. The next item is just information at this point. This is our budget calendar for the fiscal year 2019-2020. This is information at this time. If the board has any questions or input, we're happy to take those, and we'll be bringing this back to you in December for approval.
All right.
Did we not schedule a date for the joint board of supervisors?
Yeah.
We have a joint Board of Supervisors meeting scheduled in December, but that's one of our quarterly meetings. We haven't scheduled the budget one yet.
So they wouldn't be at the same time? It
No,
would be
they
two
wouldn't be.
separate,
No,
okay.
that would be later when we're presenting our approved budget. So that
Okay.
may be one of the items that we want to add to the agenda for the meeting in December, on December 11th.
Okay.
All right. Good question. Any other questions? All right.
Okay, sorry. Next item is to consider approval of religious exemption. I recommend that the school board approve the request for release from compulsory attendance, student case RE 181919 and RE 181920 for bona fide religious belief.
All right, do we have a motion regarding Dr. Jones's recommendation?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Okay, we have a motion to accept. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second in student cases RE 181919 and RE 181920. All in favor, please respond with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Dr. Jones?
Yes, sir, thank you. Next item is to consider approval. This is the resolution that has been prepared to support the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Youth Day and National Mentoring Month, as well as the breakfast that is that we host at Powhatan High School. So we're looking for approval of this resolution, which will then be placed in the program for the event on Martin Luther King Day.
All right, is there a motion?
I make a motion, we accept the resolution for the MLK breakfast and youth day.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please respond with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And members of the board, I have that resolution here, and I will pass that around if you'll sign that while we're finishing up our business. All right, Dr. Jones.
Yes, the next item is asked board to consider approval for a resolution of the school board regarding the financing of certain school facilities. The Board of Supervisors approved a resolution to proceed with financing multiple school and county projects to the total of $9.4 million. School projects include energy performance contracting with Train, that will help at Pocahontas Elementary School and Powhatan Elementary, as well as the repurposing of Pocahontas Middle School. The financing process requires collateral for the loan, and since Powhatan Elementary meets that requirement, the school board needs to approve the attached resolution to enable the financing process to begin.
All right, any discussion regarding this item? Questions or discussion? Ms. Ayers?
I had just asked Dr. Jones earlier if the attorneys have looked this over, and he assured me that they have, and everything is fine,
Okay.
within order.
So it was reviewed by our attorney?
Yes.
right? Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Is this
Mr.
the
Gold.
first time we've used a process like this? I can't ever remember making a resolution like this before.
I don't remember the last time we did bond financing doing this before, but it is something that Davenport has requested as part of the bond financing. And I've been told it's just a formality, but I don't know. I don't recall doing it the last time. Yes, sir.
Further discussion or questions? Ready to vote on the item? Is there a motion?
Make a motion to accept.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
And I'll second the motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please respond with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, next item is to consider approval of revised VSBA School Board Policy IGBG, off-site instruction and virtual courses that the school board received at its October 23rd meeting, and to receive and approve the revised JHCH school meals and snacks with the new language added in to assure that students who don't have money will receive meals at breakfast and at lunch.
Any discussion or questions?
Mr. Chairman, this is,
Mr. Cole.
this is something that I was a part of the board in asking for this, and I certainly appreciate them adding the language in there that clarifies that we will feed everybody regardless of their ability to be able to pay on that particular day.
All right, other questions or discussion? All right, is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the school board policy.
Second.
All right, we're approving,
It's policy and the regulation.
okay, all right. Just clarifying. All right, so your second is to both. All right, all in favor, please respond with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, that takes us to, that's the end of your,
It is. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
end of your report, sir. So next is items for discussion by the board. Ms. Winall, we will start with you. Do you have any comments for us this evening?
Not really. Everything is going pretty well at school. We haven't had any major issues recently that I know of, so.
Qualifies as good news? All right. All right. Thank you very much, and thank you again for participating this evening. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Mr. Kunko.
I have nothing other than want to thank everybody for such a fine showing, so many awards to give out, and just proud of the school division and its students. It says it all for me.
I agree. All right. Ms. Ayers.
I have a couple of things. First of all, congratulations to Jordan for obviously being such an outstanding person and student and all of the accolades you got tonight. So you're a wonderful young woman, and thank you for serving on our board. And kind of reminded me tonight, I had my granddaughters at the Powhatan Park a couple of weeks ago, and there were men and women there in uniform that were measuring trees and doing, my granddaughter, my 4-year-old granddaughter said, "What are you doing?" Like they were hurting the trees, and he said, "Well, we're here to measure the trees for the FFA judging contest they're gonna have." So she didn't know what that was, and he handed her a ruler, and he said, "Do you wanna help me?" And she said, "No." So anyway, I thought that was pretty neat that we saw them up there doing their work. And also to thank Ms. Emal for coming to Maggie Walker Luncheon the other day. I thought we had a good meeting with our students and a good lunch with our students. And then she and I went over to Code RVA and took a tour of Code RVA. And I guess she'll have to tell you if she was impressed. I think it's a very impressive school and a very different environment. And it was really exciting to have her there and see the students working. And I went to a couple of the fall festivals and the Powhatan Fall Classic at the high school and then at a couple of the elementary schools. And we have such a great school system. I mean, at the fall festivals, just to see the principals and all the administrators and the teachers and everybody just having such a good time and the students having such a good time. And as I understand, earning money from the tickets that were sold for our teachers, which I think is a great idea. So anyway, just enjoy our school system like I always do. So thank you all for everything you do.
Thank you, ma'am. Mrs. Emal.
Yes, I will second that good lunch at Mackey Walker, Mrs. Ayers. It was very nice to meet some of the students, some of them I knew, and to ask them if it was worth us putting aside the money for them to be there, and they all thought it was. Then when we did go to Code RVA after, I was very impressed. It was very much a real life experience, real world learning. It looked like Capital One because of the way the setup, the different seating areas. It looked like a real business, a real company. And they were doing interviews that day with I guess he was the manager of a real company.
Yeah.
And they do things like, what was it, good attendance and good work skills and work habits that they earn different levels. And then our one student from our county, they picked 6 students to be CEO. And one of our students was the CEO, so that was exciting to find out. It just is a wonderful place for students to go, and it just reminds me of when kids say it's not applicable, or why do I need to do this, or I think that's a real good place for some of our students that we need to keep sending. So. And so it was a nice afternoon. So thank you for inviting and taking me, Mrs. Ayers. I visited the farm day at the Rescue Squad grounds, and I don't know if we thank Kathy Howland, our extension agent, but she always puts on a variety of hands-on activities for our third graders, and it just is, cows mooing and a baby's there and a baby cow calf, and it's just another real life hands-on outdoor experience. I like to see that for our kids. I enjoyed the JROTC Veterans Day program that was at the high school. Retired Command Sergeant Major Michelle Jones. She was just an incredible speaker, and she really knew her audience, teenagers, kept everybody's attention, including myself. I was just, it's nice to see, and she didn't miss a beat there. I mean, she just told them how it is, and I think our students need to hear that. We've also had some excellent workshops for our parents and students. Last week, it was a busy week last week, too many things, but anyway, we picked 2. The mindfulness strategies for stress management was put on by the Gifted Advisory, sponsored by the Gifted Advisory Committee, and then the wellness night at the high school. I was a little disappointed that there weren't more people there, but because the subjects, the presenters, were all very good and very informative, and I'm just wondering what we could do. I don't know what we can do to get more people. There's a lot of topics there. My husband, he was dragging his feet and to the wellness one, but I said, we need to know about. It's not just smoking cigarettes and alcohol. It's a lot of vaping's new, and a lot of people our ages don't know what vaping is. So there's a lot of good information that our people provided for the parents and students that were there, and I really enjoyed the presentation on the mindfulness strategies, and I heard that before a faculty meeting, one of our schools does I guess you would say it's a mindful activity. And I hear that we've sent people to mindfulness schools, workshops or conferences. And, it's about breathing. And I know we do the yoga. I saw the preschool did yoga, and I guess the kindergarten has a program they do. I would really like to see a presentation on what things we already do and to hear more about them, because it goes with our strategic plan about wellness and that and the other things that you are planning for us, or for the students. I was going to have a little demo here, but I thought, you know what? You really need to see the presentation to appreciate it. So I would like to recommend that for, it doesn't have to be next month, or, you know, whenever there's an opening for another presentation. And I believe that's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Emel. Mr. Cole?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll second Ms. Emel's kudos to the wellness program last week. I want to commend the parents who did come and commend the folks who put that together. It was a lot of work. Students led a lot of that work, and that's a credit to them. You know, as we think about all the mental health issues that our students potentially could face, this is one of the strategies that I want to help address some of those things. And like Ms. Emel, I was disappointed that more parents were not there, because it's a typical topic of conversation when students are experiencing difficulties, that, you know, they need something to relieve their stress. And here we provided an opportunity, and hopefully we can do something again. And, you know, we think about school shootings and violence, and that's all tied into that too. So it's a strategy that has multiple applications, and certainly I think it's one that we need to continue to work on. So kudos to them. I also want to just thank again our foundation. They've left us at this point, but the work that they do, and the folks, the teachers that applied for those grants, you know, those are teachers who take the initiative to do some innovative things within our school. And that's one of the things that makes our school division so special, is that they're willing to go the extra step. And for us, and for the foundation to be able to give them some monetary assistance in doing that is great that we can do it, and the benefits are tremendous. I would like the board to consider, as a part of our protocol in the future, to basically tell our award winners and recognize those people who are recognized, that we'd ask them all to stay until everyone is recognized. I think that's just common courtesy. I think it would be something that, so that they could appreciate what each other does. So I would ask the board to consider that as a part of our protocol in the future. Last thing is that the Appomattox Regional Government School did appoint a new director last week. I sent you his resume. It's Brendan Albin. He formerly is working in Amherst County, and if you read his resume, you'll notice that he's a native of South Africa. I think he's going to be a great leader for that school, but did want to keep you abreast of that. And I hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving break next week.
All right, thank you, Mr. Cole. So I'll be brief in an effort to not repeat what my colleagues have discussed. I just want to go back and just hit on a couple things. First is I want to commend the entire staff of the school system. The dropout rate at 1.74% is, as discussed earlier in our workshop, to me, that's just a tremendous number. And I think that that's a credit to the administration, the staff, the faculty, everyone that works with our students throughout the course of their academic career here at Powhatan. It's a low number, and it's great that it's a low number, but it's also great that it's a low number because that's a lot of young men and women that have high school degrees, and that really gives them an entrance into opportunities. So I'm very proud of that number, very proud of the staff for getting us to that number. The other thing that I wanted to say is I just wanted to one more time commend Sheila Payne and Jane Perryman. They do a job that's often underappreciated. And I really wish that we had recognized them first.
Yeah, I know.
Because they deserve every round of applause they got, and they deserve the recognition that they received. And I hope that we'll do something to recognize them, the website or something, because that's a very challenging job. And I know that as a parent, the bus driver, they do a tremendous job. So whatever we can do to make them understand how valuable we consider that award and what they did that day, that's worth doing.
Yep.
So. And I'll conclude at that point. So, Dr. Jones?
Yeah, I would agree. I think, Mr. Cole, I think your suggestion about adding some statement about staying through the recognitions and that would be a good addition. And I, too, when it happened, wished we had done them first so that everybody been able to hear it. But we will definitely recognize those two professionals for the the work they did. It was a very harrowing day, and what they did to make sure their students and some of our most vulnerable students were safe, I think was very courageous and deserves that type of recognition. Other than that, just everybody, I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving, that you have time to spend with your family and your friends. You enjoy your long weekend next weekend.